Cool. Devin Reiche, ANUBIS. Welcome to RockEyez, man.
Good to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Congratulations on the new EP, May 16th. The
Thank you.
Puppeteers, and we're going to delve a little bit into the three tracks and stuff like that. A little bit with the video, and I guess you're out in California.
Yeah, Los Angeles.
Cool.
Also, it's the 15th, not the 16th.
Okay. Your press release said the 16th, so
Oh,
no big
I-
deal.
maybe it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Maybe I have it wrong. But
Cool. Listening to the video Leper Lord, I get a sense of 3 inches of blood. The music and stuff like that. Do you get that often?
you know, they're actually one of many bands that I just haven't like had time to get into over the years.
Uh-huh.
I saw them live a really long time ago, but I haven't really like dived into the albums yet.
Right,
Um,
yeah.
so if that influence is there, it's completely incidental.
Uh-huh. Wow. I feel musically, I feel 3 inches of blood, not vocally, but musically, you know.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, musically, this one was written by our guitar player Elazar.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if he listens to Three Inches of Blood. But yeah, this one musically I had very little to do with. So that would be a question for him.
Cool. Now the band formed in 2018, is that true?
Somewhere around then, I mean, like the beginnings are kind of murky. Like I don't know when it evolved from just sort of a thing that I was doing into an actual band is kind of up in the air. But I I sort of pinned the date to 2020 because that's when our first EP dropped.
Right. Cool.
I mean, before then we were just going through members so quickly that it wasn't even. I don't. I don't even know if we had played any shows before then.
Right, yeah.
Uh,
Wow. And that
uh,
first EP was called Ashes.
yes, it was, and please, God, don't listen to it
Uh,
because it is a very rough sounding compared to what we're doing today.
oh, I'm sure. I'm sure the band grew immensely and became popular as the years went by and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's great, man. That's great. You know. So let's get into the EP, the Puppeteers. First track I got Face, the Puppeteers. Can you tell me anything about that track?
Yes. So this one was written mostly by our old guitar player Justin,
Uh-huh.
who left recently to do, real life stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and God, like it's difficult because I've been listening to this material for so long that it's just sort of become part of my basic psychology at this point. Um, yeah, this is a kind of just very cool and straightforward, like hard rock power metal song. Lyrically, it is about a subject that I've been thinking about quite a bit for the past year and a half, which is Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
So for any
Trekkies.
uh huge nerds out there like myself will find plenty
Uh,
of Easter eggs to have fun with in this one, I think.
cool. How about track number two, The Hood Collector?
Yeah, so this one was written entirely by me. This is kind of like my attempt at like an old school like Halloween, kind of like the early Andy Dearest era, or like you know something that Gamma Ray would have done around the Land of the Free period. Um, and lyrically, this song is my tribute to a guy named Daryl Davis. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't.
So Daryl Davis is a jazz musician who claims to have personally deconverted over 200 members of the Ku Klux Klan
Uh-huh.
and them to, renounce their membership in it. And according to him, every time he's done this, they have given him their hood and robes as
Wow.
a symbolic gesture of moving past that ideology.
Wow. That
It is,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, it is just a very sort of heartwarming little story. Um,
Wow.
and I wouldn't say it's like aspirational. Like I wouldn't say it's anyone's personal job to like deconvert racists one at a time.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so it's not, it's not advocating anything in that regard. It's just sort of like just sort of my little tribute to this very, very wholesome and heartwarming story about a guy that claims to have done very extraordinary things.
Cool. Cool. And the last track, Leper Lord. People can watch the video, check it
Yeah.
out, and tell me a little bit about that song.
So so this song is basically a an extended metaphor. Like there's a lot of sort of zombie apocalypse language in it, and it's basically just my extended metaphor for a person becoming something that you can't recognize and can't associate yourself with anymore. I think that we've all experienced relationships like that, and I won't go into too many details about the specifics, but yeah, that's pretty much that.
Cool, cool.
I think.
Why do you feel like United States is kind of lacking in the power metal genre? Over in Europe, it's huge, and stuff like that. Why do you feel, United States ain't like big on power metal right now?
I think that that's a question that that a lot of people have been wondering for a really long time. I mean, I personally, my thought is that if metal was going to get big again in the United States, power metal is the genre most primed to do it, especially with like some of the some of the more current and recent stuff like do you know the band Beast in Black?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, they're a band that very seamlessly blends really, really hard-hitting metal with really amazingly catchy sort of pop choruses with like an electronic element
Right.
that's like reminiscent of sort of some of the EDM stuff that's going on right now in the States. And I feel like a band like that, if they can just get the formula exactly right, I could see that getting popular in America.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying I think that the potential is there.
Right.
Um, but as to why it's never gotten popular in America, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'd need to know a lot more about European culture to know what they're connecting with
Hmm.
about it. Um, yeah, I just feel like America has always been this culturally, when power metal was at its peak, in the 90s, America was just, into very aggressive and sort of hard and masculine sounding new metal, just the really, you know, bassy and really, really heavy stuff. And uh, I don't, I don't know what it is, if it's just trends go random directions and there's no way to predict it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of rambling here, but no, I don't think anyone knows. And I think you would need to know a lot about how American culture compares to European culture at large to be able to answer that.
True, true. Do you feel cover bands and tribute bands are really taking over the live venues and stuff like that compared to originals?
Yeah, I mean, people love the old stuff. I think I've talked about this a little bit on my YouTube channel, where there's like a universality to the stuff in the 80s. Like anyone can pick up Iron Maiden or Judas Priest and immediately connect with it, but like, the new metal from the 90s or like the screamo from the, 2000s was very of the moment,
Right.
and people like it in sort of an internet meme way nowadays, but there's not that sort of simple universality that the old stuff has. And just the farther away that gets, the more people are just going to want to keep hearing that. And if new bands aren't delivering really powerful and memorable stuff,
Cool.
then yeah, there you go. New bands aren't delivering powerful and memorable stuff, and people are just going to want to go back to the old stuff.
Cool.
And
Now,
that's going to
in 2024, Dark Paradise came out and stuff like that. The reviews were great. I read them this morning and stuff like that, like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. You made 300 vinyl, purple vinyl and stuff like that. Is there any left?
Is there any vinyl left?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't speak to the inventory at the label, but I mean, we had to restock our vinyl. I think we've got like maybe 5 or 6 left from the restock.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, we should probably get on ordering some more of that.
Cool, cool. Now, will the Puppeteers come out on vinyl too?
No, I think this is just going to be a digital release. These are basically 3 songs that were taken from our second album, which I I think the plan is later, like towards the end of the year or beginning of next year. But basically, the story behind that is we picked up a death metal vocalist. Her name's Hannah. Um, we picked her up right as we finished the second album, so we kind of needed to figure out how we were going to reconcile like an entire new album cycle with a lineup that the album was not written with in mind. And what we decided was just to sort of have this be the send off to the very traditional power thrash sound we've been known for, and uh, use that to free up some space on the second album to write some new songs with her very specifically in mind. And I think the result is going to be a very transitional sounding album where you're gonna almost be able to hear us evolving in real time.
Cool. Will you be going out on tour?
I hope so. I think we're definitely planning on doing some mini tours. We're planning on doing a West Coast run up to, I think it expanded to Vancouver just yesterday.
Uh-huh.
We did Texas last year. We've been talking to a lot of bands from Denver. Yeah, that we're kind of currently in the mini tour phase. If somebody offered us an opening slot on a full month-long US tour, we would definitely be all about it. But yeah, there's excursions in the planning stages right now.
Cool, cool. If a new band were trying to get into breaking into music, what recommendations would you tell them?
I would tell them um don't focus on trying to emulate older bands. Focus on trying to forge a unique sound and really focus on the songwriting. Write memorable, powerful songs that people can connect with.
And what are your feelings towards giving out autographs?
I mean, if anyone wants it, I don't see myself as a celebrity or anything. Like, I can't imagine why anyone would want my autograph. But if anybody does, I am more than happy to give it to them.
Cool, cool. Over the last couple months, I've been asking this question. I just want to know what your reply would be. A lot of bands now are only putting out singles, and maybe only 8 singles, and then after the 8 singles, putting out a special package. Is there a reason behind this?
Yeah, because you need to be perpetually in the public eye. You can't, the music consumption landscape just moves so fast nowadays. You really can't afford to just disappear for a year and a half and then come out with 8 songs that people may or may not listen to because they may or may not even remember you because you've been gone for so long.
Right.
You kind of just need to be perpetually promoting something. So like I think the big marketing strategy is one single every month and a half.
Mhm.
That gives you plenty of time to put out content for it, promote it, get live footage, and then you're immediately promoting something new. I think, you see pro bands like Sabaton, others that I'm blanking on right now, but like Sabaton will probably release half their album in singles before dropping it. They still do the full album, but
Right.
um, they're putting out singles a year before it drops. Um, and yeah, that I think that's just evolving. That's just a sign of the times, and I don't think it's going away. Um, Now, if you're a band as big as Sabaton is, you could probably afford to just drop the whole album at once.
Right.
But definitely for bands on our level, if you aren't constantly promoting something, you are just gonna drop from the radar like you never existed.
Right. Yeah. Do you feel you need a label anymore to really break into music?
I mean, I think theoretically you don't need one, but it definitely helps. I think, obviously anybody could just write the song that happens to connect with people and it just happens to take off. And there are certainly bands that have done that, but at the same time, you know, ask yourself how many bands you listen to nowadays that aren't on a label.
Right. Definitely.
You just it's probably not going to be all that many, if any at all, because the machinery behind a label just makes everything so much easier and so lightens your workload and allows you to take on, you know, many new avenues and yeah. So probably not necessary, but you should act as if it is necessary regardless, I think.
Cool. Is there still such thing as pay to play?
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, if you there's lots of venues that will like book a national touring act and make you sell 30, 40 tickets to get on. And I think that's technically pay to play, but you can also, if you sell enough tickets, you can also profit from it. So, but venues like the Whiskey will do like pay to play shows where, can you still hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, didn't know if those car engines were drowning me out. Yeah, venues like the Whiskey will basically have nights where all the bands just pay like 150 or 200 and it's just a random smattering of bands of completely different genres.
Right.
And those shows are completely useless unless you are just starting out. And I mean like your very first show.
Right.
If if you have never played a show and you're looking to break in and you can just pay $200, hire a really good photographer, get really good photos out of it, get some live experience,
Mhm.
your first handful of likes on social media, then those shows are worth it. But if you have any experience under your belt at all, it's those are not going to be worth your time.
Now, does Anubis have merchandise where people could pick it up?
Oh yeah. I I think I think we've got all of our merch for sale on Bandcamp. Um, it's definitely I mean most of our merch sales are done at live shows, but definitely if you go to our Instagram and go to our link tree, the merch link is there.
Cool, cool. Well, Devin, it was great talking to you, and I appreciate the chat. Congratulations on Puppeteer. Um, Comes out in May. I'm not going to say the date because I'm not
I
positive
put it
either.
for the 16th
You
or
know,
possibly the 14th,
yeah.
based on the fact that Spotify always drops stuff early.
Cool, cool. Well, congratulations. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there?
Say anything to the fans out there? Thank you. Keep
Uh,
listening. Come say hi at shows and keep asking for autographs if you want it.
Thanks a lot,
Even
man.
even if it always surprises me when I get asked.
Cool, cool. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Talk to you later.
Wait,
Bye bye.
take it easy, dude. Bye.